When you dig into the production notes and the raw track stems for an album like Sacred Ground: The Resilient Sessions, you expect a pretty traditional
Oh,
story.
absolutely.
Right. I mean,
Uh,
you're looking at this 23-track, hour-long epic that just physically gives you goosebumps.
hmm.
And the mission of today's deep dive is to explore how a project, this deeply soulful, this heavily gospel-infused, was actually willed into existence using literally nothing but an open source operating system and a bunch of AI algorithms.
Yeah, it's a wild paradox when you think about it. We are analyzing this album that feels profoundly human, but it was architected in an entirely digital, completely democratized space.
And when you say digital space, the actual tech stack here is just nuts. They built this entirely on Linux Ubuntu 26.04.
Right, the Resolute Raccoon release.
Exactly, Resolute Raccoon. And they used an alpha build of Audacity 4. But the main studio collaborators were Google Flow Music and ChatGPT.
hmm
But wait, here's where I need you to connect the dots for me. Because ChatGPT is a text generator, right? And Google Flow handles the audio. So how does a text tool act as a partner in a music studio? Like, that feels like trying to paint a picture using a spreadsheet.
I mean, it totally sounds counterintuitive, but that is exactly where the collaboration happens. Because they didn't just ask ChatGPT to write some lyrics; they actually used the language model as a sonic architect.
A sonic architect. Huh?
Yeah. So the human creator fed the technical limitations and the parameters of Google Flow into that text model. And then ChatGPT generated these highly specific algorithmic prompts. It was essentially translating raw human emotion into the exact math that the audio model needed to make, say, a gospel choir. It is this constant prompt and response feedback loop.
So it really is like jamming with an algorithm then. You play a note, or I guess you input an emotional parameter, and the machine plays something back. You listen, you tweak the prompt, and go again.
Precisely. You are constantly guiding that output. And by using completely open source, freely available software, this process democratizes the whole execution of the art.
Right. It levels the playing field.
Exactly. It proves a single creator can manifest this incredibly complex, multi-layered vision no matter their budget. Because they aren't outsourcing the creativity to a vending machine. They are injecting their own human intent right into the machine's capabilities.
Well, and that level of specific guided intent is mathematically necessary when you actually listen to the final sound they achieved. You really can't just hit generate and get something this expansive and cinematic. I was listening to the stems, and you've got these punchy drums and highly rhythmic claps.
Oh, the claps are so crisp.
So crisp. Plus these incredibly lush string arrangements. But honestly, I have to push back a bit on the expectations here.
Right.
Because you would expect an AI-assisted project built on a Linux machine to sound, I don't know, cold or robotic. But this feels so organic and deeply personal.
It really does. And what stands out in those stems is the intentional acoustic nuance. The vocals are backed by this grand, soulful African-American female choir in the chorus that just completely fills the sonic space.
It is massive.
Yeah. And the reason it avoids sounding synthetic is because the creators use that feedback loop to engineer microtiming. They utilize that alpha build of Audacity 4 to meticulously layer the stems.
Right, because Audacity 4 introduced new ways to handle generated audio.
Exactly. So they dialed in rich reverbs, adjusted the frequencies, until the tech just essentially disappeared into the warmth of the arrangement.
But that warmth isn't just a technical flex. It is the essential vehicle for the message. I mean, you cannot convincingly sing about raw human survival over a sterile, robotic beat.
No, definitely not. The lush production is the necessary scaffolding for a very deliberate chronological journey. The whole album is woven together by these overarching lyrical themes of resilience and self-celebration.
You literally see that progression when you read through the lyric sheets. Like,
Yeah.
the album starts in this place of deep struggle on the track The River's Edge.
Right, very somber.
Yeah. And then it navigates the active work of survival in Rising from the Dust, and finally arrives at a triumphant celebration with Carry the Weight. And what I love is how the vocal performance itself, like the actual generated audio, changes as you move through that track list.
The synergy between the message and the medium there is just incredible.
It really is. Early on, the vocals are almost entirely this delicate storytelling. They are hesitant and vulnerable.
Right.
But as the lyrics build in strength, the algorithms were clearly prompted to shift the delivery into these high-energy belted climaxes. The physical sound of the voice actually embodies the resilience written into the lyric.
Which shows a total mastery of the tools. I mean, the resilience isn't just a thematic idea printed on the lyric sheet. It is baked right into the dynamic range of the audio performance itself. The algorithm was literally guided to map the emotional arc mathematically.
It is such an incredible blueprint for you to think about as these tools become more accessible. I mean, Sacred Ground proves that democratized tech and open source AI aren't here to replace the human element.
Not at all.
When they're utilized as true collaborative partners, they beautifully amplify raw human emotion.
It completely redefines what a single individual can achieve without the backing of a massive record label.
It really does. But, it also leaves me wondering about the flip side of this technological perfection. If freely available algorithms and an open source OS can flawlessly simulate the emotional warmth of a dozen gospel singers sweating over analog instruments, where exactly is the line between human soul and machine output in the future of art? Something for you to mull over.